the hobo, Wrestling Jesus, who lives in a cardboard box and uses my friend's house and his camera to record my videos. Today I'm on the Mr. Hornsby 83 show talking about X-Men shows from worst to best. But first let me talk about AEW. Yeah, they're a bunch of homos. A bunch of overrated wrestlers. They're gonna be ROH 2.0. But guess what? They're on TNT now. They're starting this fall. You know, the Wrestling Jesus is gonna be watching. Because I'm a well, I don't know if I'll be able to watch because I'll be living in my cardboard box and, you know, I don't have a TV show, TV in my cardboard box. But, you know, I just want to talk about how overrated wrestling, you know, how overrated the Wrestling Jesus and the Wrestling Jesus channel is. And that, you know, the Wrestling Jesus, I feel like it's going to be ROH 2.0. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to turn the show back over to Mr. Hornsby. I'm going to go live back in my cardboard box. Hello, this is Mr. Hornsby 83. This is the Mr. Hornsby 83 show. And today I'm going to be ranking the X-Men shows from worst to best. I just had to take another stab at that douchebag, the Wrestling Jesus. But anyway. So, before I do, I want to give Wrestle Talk. James, go in there and yell, I'm trying to do this video. But, so, before I do, I want to give a special shout out to Wrestle Talk News because they're the first ones I've seen this news on, but AEW is coming to TNT. It's the first time in 18 years that wrestling is being on TNT. Now, I'm not going to go into all the details because I have an AEW video planned. I will talk more about that when I do the AEW on TNT video. But let's get into the ranking of the X-Men shows from worst to best. Now, some of these may be ranked because of how many seasons they had. Some of them may not have had many seasons and I rank them pretty high, so you'll have to wait and see. Alright, so first off, with the X-Men show, pretty much the show that started it all, which was Pride of the X-Men. It was like a mini-series, I believe it was on TBS. And what it did, it started out, I guess they had plans to do more, but it didn't work out, so they settled for the Pride of the X-Men. I didn't think the show was that bad. Now, yes, was there some campy corniness to the show? Yes, there was, but, you know how that is. So, worst show ever is actually the prototype show that really launched the 92 X-Men show, which I may or may not be talking about later on in the video. We have to wait and see. Anyway, next up is, now some of these aren't my personal opinion either. Some of these are just the way the show ran and what other people thought of it. But my personal opinions on it are different from what other people are. So, next up is the Wolverine anime. Now, I didn't care for the Wolverine anime mainly because of how Wolverine looked in it. Which is kind of odd because at the same time the Wolverine anime was on, you had the X-Men anime. And Wolverine looked like Wolverine in the X-Men anime. But in the freaking Wolverine anime, did not look like Wolverine. And the voice actor they chose to play him, yeah, the guy did his best, but he didn't have that Wolverine voice. It was just like, oh my god. Why is this guy playing Wolverine? Why does Wolverine look like a skinny freaking Chinese dude? That's how he looked in that. Yeah, so I wasn't too happy with that one. But, you know, it is what it is. On the subject of the X-Men anime, that is the next show I'm going to be talking about. The X-Men anime. Now, I like this show. I wish it would have got another season. But my biggest problem with the X-Men anime was they tried to make the characters, well, some of the Hellfire Club look totally like anime style characters, which is kind of crazy with the way anime does a lot of crazy looking characters. But why not just do a normal anime where it's like the people look normal, like stuff like, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, for example. Well, some of the other seasons, some of the characters look like anime characters, but Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, they look like normal people. Hunter x Hunter, the people look like normal people. I just didn't get why they went with the route with making someone. And not only that, Super freaking Saiyan Vegeta Wolverine on one of the final episodes of that freaking anime. Wolverine somehow went Super Saiyan, broke himself free, started freaking going on a rampage, just beating the crap out of people. Like, what in the world? You could tell this was made by an anime company because Wolverine's going Super Saiyan. But yeah, I did like the X-Men anime. I also liked the Blade one too. And I did like the Wolverine one. I just didn't like how Wolverine looked in it. I mean, honestly. Alright, next up, we're getting into a little bit better shows. Next up is X-Men Evolution. Lasted 4 seasons. The show, I didn't like, how skinny they made some of the X-Men in that show. I thought, they could have went for different choices, especially coming off of Hulk wanted to be back in YouTube again. I want to be Killer. You saw my video the other night. Got another want to be Killer over here. I'm going to put her in the video at the end too. But, I understand they were teenagers, some of the X-Men were teenagers, but like Beast, Wolverine, and all them. What the fudge? Okay. But like Beast, Wolverine, and all them were, looked like they did in the old cartoon somewhat. But, I just didn't like the design of the characters. But the show ended up being good, and at first, really didn't care too much for X-Men Evolution. But as it went on and continued on, I started enjoying it more. Also, the design for Apocalypse and the Brotherhood. I will say I did like Magneto's look in this, in X-Men Evolution. But, some of the Brotherhood characters look kind of stupid. So did some of the X-Men. But Magneto looked awesome in the show. But, yeah. Next up is the show that followed that a few years later. Here's my other wannabe killer, Rosie. They try their best to be killers, but, they're really not. But, Wolverine, the X-Men, and the Saint, supposed to be picking up where the 90s cartoon left off at. So, I thought that was pretty good. But, the problem with it was, which was the same problem for Evolution, was how the characters looked. I mean, you look at Apocalypse, and even my son, when he was still pretty little, pointed out, man, Apocalypse looks like a giant clown. He don't look like Apocalypse. I did not like how Mr. Sinister looked in that show either. I mean, I thought it looked stupid. The X-Men were older, and they looked pretty much, they took the design from Evolution and freaking just put it on older versions of the X-Men, which I thought was stupid as well. And I'm very sad, because aside from the design, I did love Wolverine and the X-Men, but, they took too many breaks in between, like, certain episodes. It was happening at a time where Marvel was about to be bought by Disney, or had been bought by Disney. Just so much was going on. The show got canceled. I wish it would have got a second season, especially because I've been looking forward to seeing the Age of Apocalypse storyline play out in an animated series. Some kind of movie, some kind of TV show, it didn't matter to me, but I really wish Wolverine and the X-Men would have got at least a couple more seasons. And hopefully they would have noticed the mistakes they made in the first season and freaking put, you know, put those characters back to, put those characters back to the way they looked in the 90s cartoon. They looked awesome in the 90s cartoon. Anyway, next up, two current shows. First off, The Gifted. I really like The Gifted. The only problem I got with The Gifted is some of the villains don't seem too dangerous. Yeah, you got the Sentinel Services, which they pretty much mop the floor with. The frickin' Purifiers are pretty tough villains. But the thing is, they're ran by a guy who really didn't want to be a Purifier at first, but then ended up becoming one. Which is the character that Kobe Bell plays. Not Toby Bell. Kobe Bell plays. And really, I mean, other than Reva and the main Hellfire Club, other than Reva and the freaking Frost twins, they were the only real threat. But now one of them might be turning good. The rest might turn good. Who knows? It's a whole crazy situation. But that's why I think that cliffhanger ending at the end of Season 2 of The Gifted is leading to the next show I'm going to be talking about, Legion. Now, the problem with Legion is it's got some campy, corny moments, but it tries to be dark too, like really dark. But then you throw in those campy, corny moments, and I can see why a lot of people don't really care for the show, but I still like the show. I don't give a crap, you know. What tone they, you know, try to set, and then they go back on that tone later on in an episode, or later on in the season, or whatever. Don't really bother me. I like the show. Apparently I do, because it's like the second best X show I got on this list. Yeah, I mean, I love the character of David. Some of the characters around him I really don't care for too much, but some of them are growing on me. Like Sid's one of them, but you know, some of the other characters, I don't know. Anyway, I like Oliver and Madeline as well, but so many other characters that got on the show, it's like, why are they even in the show? They're a waste. Letty, also, I like her too. She's pretty awesome. But, yeah. Yeah, it's just, you know, crazy with this show. Anyway, I'm also going to try to get my friend Matt or JC to freaking do this AEW on TNT video with me. But, alright, so number one, I mentioned it earlier. I'm pretty sure everybody knew I was going to pick this show as number one. Because it is number one, and it is the best X-Men show ever. X-Men 1992 show. I mean, the show is perfect. The tone is perfect on it. The freaking, you know, the villains are awesome, except for Apocalypse being purple. And Mr. Sinister looks like a freaking scary, creepy freaking character in it. It tackles the freaking Shadow King, but then again, Legion also has the Shadow King in it. In his Farouk form, because somehow he got it back. Actually, no, he got it back because he found the body he needed to get his, you know, Farouk form back. But, yeah, I mean, what can I say about the X-Men 92 show that hasn't already been said? It's just the greatest show ever. It's awesome. Just like when I said Batman in the 90s show was best. Yeah, it was just a very great show. Eventually we'll get an X-Men show up to that par, but right now the closest to it is The Gifted and Legion. But yeah. So that's my list of the X-Men shows from worst to best. Which ones do you think the worst? Which ones do you think I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably think Legion's one of the worst. But Not me. Which ones of you guys think's the worst? Which ones of you guys think's the best? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to jump to some shout-outs. And then I'm going to end this video taking another stab at that douchebag, the Wrestling Jesus. Anyway. So, first shout-out goes to the Black Ops Killer. Been doing a lot of rap videos, which me and my wife's going to have to start paying. Going to have to start freaking watching before he uploads them.
Hey, quit talking about me.
Well, I'm giving you a shout out. If y'all want me to give it a shout out, then fine, I won't. Mr. Fox.
Why you give me a shout? Just don't mention rap. Or watching it before you upload.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Mr. Fox, Heavy Metal Turtle. Let's see. I'm gonna. I'm going to give another shout out to Wrestle Talk News and every other wrestling, but like I said, Wrestle Talk News was the first one I got that story from. So I'll be, let me give them a shout out. I'll give a shout out to all the other people that also covered the news that, you know, finally, after 18 years, TNT is going to have wrestling on it again, and it's AEW. Guess I'll give Elite Best 3 a shout out too, even though he hasn't done much videos yet. Also, if you're on Mixer, go check out a friend of mine. His name's Raging Gaming. I think that's what he calls his thing. But yeah, on Mixer, go check out his. Give a quick shout out to the Cinema Snob as well. Which I'm kind of sitting like he usually does. But, alright. Also, either today, tonight, or frickin' sometime tomorrow, I'm going to be posting Tri-Gen Toys on my Facebook business page, Tri-Gen Toys. I'll be showing off a couple new things that we'll be having for sale at the Richwood Flea Market on June 1st and 2nd. Alright, I'm back. I came out from my box. You know, my friend said I couldn't use his house because, you know, he got mad at me for some reason. So, this is the Hobo Wrestling Jesus saying, like this video, comment, follow Mr. Hornsby83 at Twitter, at Mr. Hornsby83. Check out his awesome business page, Tri-Gen Toys, on Facebook. And catch you guys later. Peace out. I gotta get back to my box because I'm a hobo.